Here. No reported income for the last 5 years, and the only claim to fame you've got, as far as I could find, was finishing second place in the International Rope Skipping Championship in Boulder, Colorado in 1984. Quite an accomplishment. What was your speciality? Double Dutch?
Fuck this guy.
T, I can handle this, dog.
You darn nuts-looking bitch! Fuck, I know you didn't just step to me,
What
dog.
the hell are you doing, man?
That skipping shit cut me deep, dog. Suck on this, Blondie!
Fuck my eyes, man!
Get him out of here.
High-panted bitch!
I am gonna be watching you.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna prove you wrong, big guy. Because I can play this game a lot better than you. Yeah, really. You got something to say?
No, it's just admiring your pants, officer.
Right.
Let's go!
Fucking money? I don't even have money in my wallet. Yes, I do. I have $7 because you took all this and you fucking pocketed it. This is the only fucking shit you people care about!
Well, now I guess you know why they call him Angry Joe. Because he's one perturbed Pedro. He's a little bit of a ass-blasted Alejandro. A little bit angry. A little bit hot under the collar. Guess that's where he gets that nickname from. You know, one thing I've noticed as I've done this retrospective look at this particular website and the content creators that are associated with it, is that each person that watches it seems to have their own motivation, their own reasoning for wanting to take a look back. For some people, that is a nostalgia trip. They used to watch these shows. They remember the personalities. It's a chance for them to go, hey, I remember that. I remember when I used to watch this stuff every single day, when I used to go to that website every single day, but goddamn has it been years since I've done that. For other people, it's more of a carnival sideshow attraction. They get to sit down for 15 to 20 minutes and hear a nice summation of individuals that were associated with the website and events that took place in their life. But I think one common thread that each of these videos happens to share with one another is that they are cautionary tales. They are cautionary tales for what to look out for if you want to be a content creator on the internet. Each of them serves to show and illustrate the pitfalls and the mistakes that you can make, what you should look to avoid as you navigate your way around this particular area of the internet. In Doug's case, it's a creator who wanted to escape his own creation, who wanted to branch out and do new things, and in order to do that, felt it necessary to disassociate himself with the thing that the fans loved the most, the price he paid for it, and his inevitable return to having to do it. In the case of Noah, it's a content creator who was on top of the world, making thousands and thousands of dollars with a very large fan base, all looking forward to his next creation. But due to his own arrogance, his own hubris, and his own mistreatment of his audience, he saw his popularity and his profits begin to sink. It's a man who shot himself in the foot through his mistreatment of those that adored him the most. And in Lewis's case, if Lewis has a cautionary tale within his video, it should be that you never, ever, ever create a username for a porn website, because that will come back to haunt you one day. The last thing you want as you cross that 1 million subscriber threshold is for information to come out that you really, really, really want to fuck the shit out of that green M&M. But these mistakes, they've been in the past. These are things that happened years ago. And as we move into this 4th episode with Joe Vargas, with Angry Joe, my intention was to, again, offer a retrospective look at his journey from an unknown individual to somebody who has nearly 3 million subs. A person who's put out video after video for nearly a decade, all because he has a passion for a hobby. And the hard work that he put into those videos that he put out, his angry reviews, and how that attracted an audience. Now, Joe has had his moments on the internet, like almost anybody else, and in fact, one of those moments was at the very beginning of this video. And peppered throughout the original intent of this particular episode were going to be highlights of that. But due to recent events that have transpired in the last 2 weeks, I've decided to shift focus a little bit in trying to keep with that idea of cautionary tales for things that you should seek to avoid. I feel it best, rather than to do a purely retrospective look at Angry Joe, to instead take a look at the current events surrounding him.
He did his research. He was prepped.
He was ready for me.
Now, Joe's problems began about 2 weeks ago when he uploaded a video announcing an unexpected 2-month vacation. Throughout the course of his update vlog, he explains to his audience that he needs to take a break. He had been taking a minor break from his content production over the course of the past week, and he was seeking to extend it through July and August, all the way until September. Now, he wasn't taking a break entirely from the content he produces. No, instead he was going to be taking a break from what he described as the most intensive of the videos he makes, his angry reviews. He goes on to explain that he's not burnt out, that he doesn't dislike making them, but just that he had been producing content consistently for 9 years without really ever taking time off. And then now that he had had a bit of a taste of it, he wanted to actually have a real vacation. Now, from the get-go, there were groups of people that were already upset with this particular announcement. Some people were upset because Angry Joe had posted a schedule promising a certain amount of angry reviews per month, and they were already claiming he was falling through on that promise before this video ever went up. So there they are, already dissatisfied, already upset about the perceived lack of content that was coming from Joe, content that he himself had promised to deliver. And then on top of that, he releases his video announcing that he isn't going to be producing any of it for another 2 months. There was also a large amount of subscribers to his channel who were there merely to watch the angry reviews. That's what they came to watch. That's what they liked the most. They didn't watch his other content. They just wanted the angry reviews. So Joe got some pushback right away from the video. But it wouldn't be until a few days later that things really begin to go tits up for Joe when he uploads another video.
Joe in the north, the 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 Joe in the north.
Get off those! Let's do this!
Now, people were already upset with the fact that he was telling them he was taking a break from the content that they liked the most. But now here a few days later, he's uploading other content that's an hour in length, that's not related to angry video game reviews at all. And the comments and the ratings immediately began to reflect the dislike people had for the fact that he was uploading this as opposed to the reviews that they came to the channel to watch. And it would be Joe's reaction to this that really marks the beginning of the shit show proper. Because Joe didn't like the reaction he got from his own audience. He didn't like the fact that they were telling him not only were they upset with what they perceived as laziness on his part, but with the content he seemed to enjoy outside of angry reviews. So Joe did what most people in this day and age do. He went to social media to bitch. This situation sucks. I can't make content I want except for one thing. If I started a new channel, haters would just follow me there. I think the only option for me at this point is to either stop the show entirely or disable comments and ratings and do what makes me happy. I gave them 9 years of free content, more than 1,135 videos, and I can't get any love on my own channel to produce additional content I want. I'm taking back my channel. I will fight you on the side of the street for it. I've decided to disable all comments and ratings on all videos for the next month. I want to see what it does to the viewership and engagement. Joe then went even further by screen capping conversations he was having in the comment section with people that were posting on these videos to highlight what he saw as an attack against his content and against himself. From Greenhouse: enjoy your vacation, Joe. You just lost another subscriber. No one cares. If you can't respect someone who's given you 9 years of free content and 1,100 videos without a break to share his opinion on one of his favorite shows, then fuck the hell off, you little shit. God damn this attitude on YouTube. Some of y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Fuck. So he got the time to do an hour-long review of a TV show, but can't do a 20-minute game review. This shows the basic mentality of your below-average YouTube commenter. They think the 20-minute game review equals 20 minutes of work. How anyone finishes a single game in 20 minutes is beyond me, versus a 1-hour review of a TV show in which we sit in place and discuss something unedited. If you ever wanted to know why my YouTube comments are sometimes filled with stupid shit, this is the reason. And Joe, true to his word, disabled ratings and comments on his videos, which were already at that time being bombarded by downvotes and comments really calling him out. They didn't like that he was going to Twitter to bitch about it. They didn't like that he wasn't producing the content he had promised he would produce. They didn't like that he was seemingly attacking them for saying that they weren't interested in him reviewing television shows or movies, that they wanted game reviews from Joe. This, of course, began a cycle which is commonplace on the internet. When a content creator begins to attack their own audience, people began to shit-talk him on social media. They began to make threads on forums and image boards, all talking about what the hell was Joe's problem. Why was he being a giant pussy and having to disable ratings and comments? Why couldn't he take the criticism that they wanted to give him? Now, fast forward 2 weeks to just a few days ago, Joe releases another video, this one much longer than his vacation announcement, in which he takes the time to really go over what his thought process was and to address a lot of the criticisms that were leveled against him. And when you look at the metrics, when you look at the ratings between the first video he put up, the vacation one, and this video, you'll see a clear difference, and that difference has to do with how he addressed the situation. And so I'd like to take a look at what Joe had to say and the reaction that he got in relation to this entire event unfolding, from his initial announcement to the pushback, to his reaction to that pushback, till his final update video explaining himself and his side of the story to his audience. Because I think within all of this, within this entire situation, it really helps to serve as a cautionary tale. Just like those first 3 episodes, this will help you to know what to avoid in the future.
Like the first thing they did, they were like, okay, here's XCOM, it's got aliens, and it's like, it's so XCOM.
Joe's cardinal sin when it comes to this entire situation was his inability to interface with his own audience and to communicate with them exactly what was going on and what the motivation and reasons behind it were. Simply taking a look at his videos before he shut down the ratings and the comment section, and you can see people were pissed. They were extraordinarily angry at Joe. It got to the point where gaming news outlets were talking about it because everybody was watching this situation unfold in real time. And as it escalated over the course of weeks, Joe ended up adding fuel to the fire through his tweeting and his social media outrage at the reaction he was receiving. It created a negative feedback loop. Somebody would say something he didn't like, he'd respond to it, and it would encourage other people to say something as well. Worse yet, he disabled the comments, the main means of his audience actually talking to him. All this ended up doing was fueling their anger and making them seek outlets elsewhere, which ended up bringing in newer people who were now aware of the situation and wanted to try to egg it on. Now, Joe took the wrong approach when addressing criticism. Rather than addressing the individual critic, he used a broad brush approach. He used a shotgun approach. And 2 of the ways that he did this was by addressing viewers as entitled and calling them trolls. This basically is brushing away any criticism that a third party might have or just an innocent bystander. It creates the idea that if you have any complaint about what Joe is doing, that you're just an asshole, that you couldn't possibly critique him or have a problem with what he's doing without falling into these different categories. And again, with comments disabled, you have no way of voicing that opinion. It's just going to piss you off. What he failed to realize is that his viewership, his subscriber base, had come to rely on the consistent upload schedule that he himself helped to establish, along with his promise of doing at least 2 angry reviews per month. So he had a previous statement saying, I'm going to do this set amount, and he had a previous work ethic showing that he would do that amount. But as this year went on, he started to fall away from that. And then he announces he's not going to be doing any of this content, and of course people are going to be upset. But rather than addressing how upset they are and why they're upset and explaining his rationale behind it, he simply refers to them as entitled, as a group of haters that exist on the internet. Now, this is the worst possible thing you could do, because what it's going to do is it's going to take people that aren't actually there to fuck with you, the actual legitimate trolls who really don't care about the situation one way or another, they're just there for a laugh. But it's going to take those people that aren't in that group, and it's going to make them want to join in, because now you've already brushed them aside. You've said, you're a troll, you're an entitled asshole, I don't care what you think. In fact, I care so little about what you think, I'm going to take away your ability to explain to me why you're upset. Even within his explanation video, and in some of the comments that he chose to highlight on social media and some of the comments he chose to respond to, he seemed to be blown away by the fact that people couldn't understand that his videos, the angry reviews, took a lot of effort in editing, that it was far more than a 20-minute procedure, that he didn't just sit in front of a camera, record it, and then hit a button to upload it immediately after he was done. What he fails to take into consideration is the fact that nowadays most people are used to YouTube being dominated by vloggers of some variety. They're used to the 13-year-old girl sitting in front of her camera and saying, like, totally, oh my god, and then immediately uploading that pile of shit to the internet. Obviously, it's going to take effort to produce a video that has effects in it, that has a green screen, that has a script. It's going to take work. But again, rather than explaining that at the outset, he simply tells people they're fucking retarded for not understanding that videos take effort to make. He's once again assuming that anybody that has a critique of him is part of this hater group, this cabal of individuals that are just looking to fuck with him. Now, make no mistake, groups of individuals like that exist. They exist for any channel that's out there. But Joe let their opinion color the discussion. He let their opinion be transposed onto every opinion that he was seeing. And rather than take a small amount of time to just say, hey, listen, you know, when I make one of these videos, here's my work process. This is what goes into the creation of a video. I've got to do the script. I've got to get the costumes and source them. I've got to film myself and the people that are in the video as well. I've got to put it into an editing suite. I've got to add the After Effects. I've got to do all of this. Then I've got to edit the audio, and I've got to sync everything up. Then I have to do a couple of different quality checks to make sure that it's good at the end of the day. It's far more than a 20-minute process. See, it took me less than a minute to explain that. But Joe didn't even try in the beginning. Now, like I had said earlier, when you look at the metrics between that first video and that second video, there's a noticeable difference. And that really comes down to approach. Because in the second video, Joe actually sits down and explains what the hell is going on, and why he feels he needs a vacation. Nowhere in his screed against people online on his social media accounts, nowhere in the original video, did he ever explain his workload, or the amount of content he produced. He just, again, assumed that the audience watching already knew that. And that is a massive mistake if you're a content creator online. You cannot assume that the audience watching what you produced has any idea about your personal life, about your work ethic, or about anything you've done up until that moment. You may have posted the most detailed message that ever existed on Facebook. You may have put up a walkthrough behind your thought process on Twitter, but how are they going to find that? You're assuming that they follow you regularly. You're assuming that these people hang on your every word, when more than likely they don't. They simply show up to your channel to watch the content you're putting out. So unless you include that explanation within the content itself, they're going to have no idea about the abrupt change in behavior that they're confronted with. When looking at this entire situation as it's unfolded over these past 2 weeks, the takeaway lesson is, don't make your audience your enemy. Don't create animosity with your viewership. And this is exactly what Joe ended up doing. He took what was a fan base and he alienated a good portion of them. He did so in the way that he addressed them. Rather than helping them to come to an understanding from his perspective, he lashed out at them. He attacked them. He grouped them together and dismissed their opinions, and then he took away the mechanism through which they'd usually address him back. But by taking away the ability for the community to interact with the creator, all Joe ended up doing was creating hundreds and thousands of brand new enraged Enriques that wanted to know when his transformation into Donut Drake would be complete. So learn from Joe's mistakes. Interact with your audience. Don't try to cut them off, don't alienate them, and make them hate you for no reason. If you need to address them as a whole, do it through the means that you would normally put your content out. That way you're sure everybody understands exactly what's happening. And grow a thicker fucking skin. People are going to shit talk you on the internet. You need to learn to cope with it, and to tune it out if it really bothers you. But punishing everybody because a few people pissed you off is just going to make more people angry at you. And that is the last thing that you want to do. Well, goddamn. You know, that finale is going to be a fucking telenovela at the rate we're going. You know, originally I had an idea of what I wanted to do with Joe's video. And it really was a retrospective look with about 3 or 4 key moments of him doing stupid shit and stupid shit associated with them. I'm sure you can think of a few of them. There's one in particular he really got a lot of heat over. But I couldn't overlook this. You know, as I was working on the video, it just kept going on and on and on and on. And Joe kept doing the wrong fucking thing at every turn. To the point where he had to put up another video explaining it. Fucking people were writing articles about it. And it seems like common fucking sense. Don't piss off the people that watch your shit. That doesn't mean you have to kiss their ass, and it doesn't mean that you owe them anything. But just talk to them like you would a normal fucking person, rather than acting like everybody that says something you don't like is out to secretly troll you, because you're going to end up like DSP at that rate. It's going to make you paranoid and fuck with your head. So yeah, I'm going to take the excised portion, the original idea I had for this. I'm going to take the really juicy bits and put it into the finale itself and kind of, you know, integrate it with everything that's going to be in there. So it's going to be an obnoxiously long episode. Thanks once again to everybody supporting me on Patreon. Speaking of patrons, there's one person I wanted to shout out. Somebody had mentioned that they weren't on the list at the end of the video. And I went through and I looked, and sure enough, they weren't. And that's my fuck up. I'm not sure how I overlooked it, but NTTE, I'm sorry. I overlooked your name. I told you I'd give you a shout out specifically to make up for that. And I'm gonna redo these ending credits. I need to update them, and they're a little hard to read, so I want to try to make it a little bit more readable. Take the time to try to make it look a little fancier. Next up, we have the man on the outside looking in. There'll be quite a bit of information. You could say lots of information in that video. That's one I've been looking forward to doing, just because I think it's going to be funny. So with that, that's the end of it. The video's done. So with that, I'll let the music take you out.
Where's the big ITT? What have you got to lose? It's a great. It's like Brewster's Millions. None of the above. What do you got to lose?
Yeah.
What do you got to lose? What do you got to lose? Anyway, this is going to heat up, and I'm going to tell you why.
Oh.
Because I always do the accounting for shows because I'm good at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm fastidious and fastidious and I don't steal.
Right.
Like I don't steal money because you get caught. Like, of all the crimes to do, the theft of money is just not one that I do. I don't know why that is. I don't know why. I'm trying to prove that I'm trustworthy with money, but I'm drawing a complete blank because it's counter to every single other thing about me.
Let me throw this out there. I feel like I've realized that it takes more effort to try to steal money than it is to just make more money.
Absolutely right. Yeah, especially in the amount that we're talking
Exactly.
about. So I've been doing the
You gonna
accounting.
sell your soul?
Yeah,
sell your soul
I'm going
for
to just
the-
compound these lies upon lies upon lies. It's exhausting for the amount of money that you...
Right.
Unless you're talking about like...
Tens of millions.
Unless you're talking about tens of millions, but in that case, it's a fucking bailout. Like,
Yeah.
it's no longer stealing.
Right.
Because it's a government program. Like, yeah, give me $600 million to make some goofy electric car, and then I'll give you pinball parts and an atomic bomb casing like Doc Brown. Like, I'll steal that money because someone's going to fucking steal it. If you're giving it away, I'm going to fucking steal it.
Right.
Anyway. It's gonna heat up because I did the accounting for last year, and I gotta send Maddox a bill for the split, and it's gonna be you gotta pay me because there was more season passes sold or whatever after all the whacking up, after paying Sean, after paying the transcribers. It's a fucking bill, and that bill may or may not get dicey.
Oh.
Yep. So that's my comments on the bonus episode. Low Tax was supposed to call in, but I don't see him. Should we take a quick break for me to try to hit him up? I would love to get him on.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to get him on. Let me take a quick break and see if I can hit up Low Tax. If anybody's got a direct line to him, maybe I'll text the Stereos too.
He knows him?
He does know him because he works for Something Awful. He writes for Something Awful. So I'm gonna hit him up real quick. We'll take a quick break. I see a little dial spinning around. So the worst part is I always forget that what I'm saying now will be back. And then I say stupid stuff, and then it starts up again. I'm like, God damn it, why is it that? Okay. Okay, I've got news from Low Tax. He's had a family emergency.
Oh my God!
You can't write this shit.
That's bullshit.
No,
You're
it's
lying.
real. It's real. It's
Is
real. I
No,
believe
you're
it. I'm
lying.
not lying. I'm not lying. He tweeted that he's coming on the show, but he's had a little family. See, it's my fault. People don't expect a podcast to be live.
I think this is the best joke anyone's
Best-
ever pulled on anyone.
He's
Him telling
trolling
you
me?
that would be the most amazing troll ever. That'd be funny.
Somebody said that he might be careful because he's always trolling, and he's probably trolling. And be wary of him trolling me. And I said, how the fuck are you gonna troll me? I've never fallen for anything in my life except that one time I sent cash to get a fake ID that never showed up.
Did you?
Yeah. You know.
What are you gonna
I
do?
really want booze. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know
What are you
to
gonna
tell
do?
All right.
You're
what
only
are we gonna?
you're only 31.
Oh, next show.
Yeah, I wanted to look younger.
Yeah.
I wanted it to drop an ID out of my wallet so an 18-year-old girl would say, "Oh, you're only 19," and I would say, "Oh, give me that. Why? Did you think I was older? Don't be silly, baby. I'm 19."
I've got to find my first fake ID.
What was yours?
My address was on Pimp Avenue.
Did people ever ask?
No, I did
No
it
one ever
because
looked at it.
my name was ridiculous, my address was ridiculous, and I did it just to point out no one ever looks at that stuff.
Well, I think that's maybe because you and I look like how we look. Because I've seen Sean get questioned on his fake ID a long time ago. Do you remember that?
I do.
His fake ID was.
Yeah, but it wasn't me. That's you used to be able to get away with that. I had somebody else's.
Oh,
ID.
expired?
No, it wasn't expired.
Just some
I like-
handsome hunk model who just wanted to make some dough selling an ID to an underage. See, these
it
handsome
came
hunks,
through.
they always stick together, these handsome hunks. These handsome hunks are always trading tips on how to pleasure
I
women
never-
and how to look beautiful. Us uggos with our receding hairlines and,
I never
and
met the
Trump
guy.
hats.
I never met
Normies.
the guy.
Of course, some other handsome hunk hooked you guys up together.
Dude, I used
One
to play.
handsome
You know,
hunk to
the guys
another.
I used to play hockey with. Was one of them.
Oh, shut and he was a
whole
hockey
group
player.
of sliding handsome hugs.
Some handsome hunk. So Low Tax isn't going to be on. I'll try to get him on next week. I did forget to go over the results from last week. Larry, Mr. Velvet is kicking ass now.
Is he?
Yes, he jumped above the kids. It goes Denzel, Mr. Velvet, then Robin, and then Joe Starr. Joe Starr, who was also supposed to be on today, but he's a big shot. I mean, he's in demand now.
Is he?
Over at oh yeah,
At
yeah,
UCB?
he's a move. Oh God, no, you cannot be in demand at UCB. He's in demand at Screen Junkies.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah, he writes. He
He's
writes
a big
the,
swinging
Honest
dick
River.
over there. And you know what? You know what his secret to success is?
What?
I'm going to predict it, but I want to ask Joe Starr what his secret to success is in entertainment. I bet it's showing up.
Oh,
Of course, man.
I bet that's the secret to his
It's
success.
9 out
It
of
is.
10. It's 90% of it.
All right, I've got, let's see, I've got some great Mark Maron news. He is getting fucking embarrassed. So Mark Maron, last week, somebody tweeted him a picture of me socking him right across the face.
Okay.
And Mark Maron's response was, you shouldn't be drawing during class. It's important, right? Taking that highfalutin New Yorker
boy.
sense of taking that highbrow, highfalutin, sophisticated, erudite sense of
Oh,
humor.
yeah.
but he responded.
Yeah, that's the most effective weapon against us Detroit Morlocks. Is a real sophisticated turn of a phrase against a group of people whose catchphrase is "get raped."
Yeah.
That's what you. Excuse me, gentlemen, but you should be getting back to your junior high school class of drawing, for you see, it will be very helpful in your future life as a manure shoveler. So they edited his Wikipedia page.
Oh, no.
I don't have it. I read it when I was drunk. I laughed my shit off. I don't have it with me. But Mark Maron got so pissed off. This is the greatest. It couldn't go any better than this. Let me try to fucking find this.
Oh my God.
It couldn't go any better than this because he said, where is it? Does this bring back memories of me struggling to find bullshit on the show? Sean, here it is. At Shane, at SHAN9NE, did the Wikipedia thing. Mark Maron tweeted back, "Great, should be proud, child." Except he was so pissed off that he typoed the proud and put 2 P's in it. Oh yeah,
How embarrassing.
Yeah, twitching because he's so upset with his coffee is trembling like a T-Rex is storming around in his house, and he's so outraged, tweeting back. Never would anyone defy him in such a way. Mark Maron should be proud. Should be. You can hear the stuttering coming through in the tweet. Should be. He's like his best friend Obama now. Jeez, he's so upset. Okay, so then at D4NDL tweets at him, tried to help Mark Maron a few months ago. He refused to listen or believe anyone. This guy D4NDL told him that his audio sounded like shit and that he needed help. So Mark Maron just tweets back, "Wrong."
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, there you go.
That's fun.
I'll read some comments, and then I'm going to get to Sovash. Sovash has an issue with Dustin. And this Dustin controversy continues on Reddit.
Yeah.
So instead of, I want them to...
Let me throw some more wood on it.
Sean, excuse me. This is more like lighter fluid. I want these guys to be heard, though. This guy's getting Reddit gold for he summarizes these posts. I want this side of the debate to be heard.
Of course.
I want this show to be the best debate in all universes.
Endorsed by Life Coach.
Okay, Stormy Waters says, "Can you do me a favor and tell Mr. Mac Daddy Red Pill to go fuck himself?" I assume that he means that complimentary. Chris Healy sent in a great a great video of the Universal logo, where instead of Universal, it scrolls around and says "Get raped." Isn't that cool?
There goes our 3-picture deal.
What are you laughing? You don't think that's cool, Coach? Let's see.
I don't condone those things.
Here's one. The neutering a dog debate has been settled.
Yeah.
We talked about neutering a dog last week, and I think it's.
I thought you didn't know. You were on.
Well, it seems like the humane thing to do. Like if I'm never gonna fuck again, never. If I'm never gonna fuck and I can't build a real estate empire, if both of those things are taken off the table, and a dog can't do that. Like a dog that's living in your yard cannot fuck.
Well, a dog also can't think like you.
But still, he's got
the drive.
Yeah. Not the same drive as me either. But he's got some kind of a sex drive, right?
Well, it's natural. Yeah, of course he does.
I've seen a dog fuck. I know what's going on in his brain. It's the exact same thing that's going on in my brain when I'm getting it.
Don't throw up. Don't throw up.
It's like the reptilian brain, right?
Yeah. Don't throw up. Don't throw up. Exactly. It seems like the humane thing to do to whack the nuts up. Like I would want to be either killed or I don't want to have nuts.
Okay.
If I'm a dog in captivity, my whole right.
Yeah.
So, Andrew O'Carroll writes in, I'm loving the show. Haven't missed an episode. Not sure if this helps, but I am a veterinarian.
Okay. Well.
And I'm happy to offer whatever insight I can about the dog thing. Regarding Larry's comments on not getting his dog neutered, we don't recommend the procedure as a money scam or even for population control. In fact, after you take into account the anesthesia and overhead for the procedure, we make very little money off. Okay.
Well,
Just
no,
selling.
whatever.
That sounds like a sales
I was just
pitch.
speculating on that. I think veterinarians basically do.
It's totally not a
what's
scam.
necessary.
Yeah, it's totally not a scam.
Although
so it's definitely a scam.
I have heard some of the vaccinations don't need to be done as often as they are.
Well, yeah, because they're causing
that could
autism.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's not what
we
I meant.
recommend it. We recommend it so that the dogs won't get testicular cancer, benign prostatic hypertrophy,
That's what I
or
thought.
perennial hernia.
That's what I thought.
So you should do it.
Well, the Larry argument was, it's kind of like, let's keep it manly in the house.
Yeah, my balls are big enough. I don't need my dog to have them. I once saw a beagle with BPH, and his prostate was, no joke, the size of a coconut.
Jesus.
He's bragging. You could see it bulging out in the front of his pelvis. Inguinal hernias can be a disastrous mess to repair surgically, and correcting it can lead to fecal incontinence. Oh my God.
No.
Please also let Larry know that castrated dogs do still produce a small amount of testosterone.
Yeah, it's not all produced in testicles.
Like your testosterone isn't?
Yeah. No, not all.
Where's
It can-
yours produced?
Very funny.
So he says it's from their adrenal
Shut up,
glands. So there's still some manliness left in them. As an aside, I think Larry is by far the best candidate for your co-host slot. He's coherent, doesn't excessively say the L word, and has a voice that could calm
L-word?
And has a voice that could calm a jaguar or end a war. That's pretty cool. I believe that. Let's see.
Or a
here.
Jaguar war.
Calm a war of
It's the
jaguars.
worst kind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it turns out I was partly wrong about men and their sperm later in life. Yeah, Justin Deering. I thought you could just be knocking up broads into your 70s and 80s and be fine.
Well, you can.
Yeah, that's
it just
true.
probably. It doesn't happen.
But
as much.
you get a little kind of the DNA gets a little scrambled
Oh,
up.
definitely.
It makes sense.
If
yeah.
it starts to get scrambled up, it will get get perturbed.
Everything just from the environment and stuff starts to degrade or mutate, right? The longer you go in life.
Yes, Justin Deering says, "Hey Dick, I had to study this recently. I learned that the older you get, the more likely the kid is to have some of the biggest problems in the universe, some autism to schizophrenia. I'm nothing about alcoholism though. I'm attaching a brief 3.5-page article. Give me a fucking break here.
Very thorough.
Could you fit this in tweet form for me, please?
Give me the bullet points.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give me
19 tweets, right?
3 bullet points. It's one where you guys start showing damage as young as 35, but other guys seem to have invulnerable sperm into their 70s. So we're all in that category.
Right.
We don't need to check that out. Interesting study, though. It doesn't apply to anyone listening or anyone here. Okay,
Clearly not.
let's see.
Depends on where you make your testosterone.
This one's from Chairman. Last one. This one's from Chairman Ham.
Your pituitary can produce a small amount, I believe,
of
testosterone.
Oh, all right. Towards the end of the episode,
regulates it, too.
there's a suggestion to make a Patreon goal of having a live show. A great idea, if you ask me, right?
That's
Wouldn't that be
great.
great at a bar, a theater, or something like that? The same thing, but at a bar. But I know from the Biggest Problem podcast that operating a second show that's similar but different to the original can turn into a train wreck. Since my last email could be construed as being negative, I thought I'd do something positive and give some advice on how to make a great live show. Step 1 from Chairman Ham, go to YouTube. Okay, seems pretty easy. Step 2, in the search bar, type Biggest Problem Live. Oh, okay. Step 3, the hardest part, watch Biggest Problem Live episodes 1 through 4. Okay. Step
You didn't
4,
read these before.
Step 4, do nothing that you see on this show. There you go. 4 easy steps to make sure your live show will at least be better than dog shit. Keep up the good work and go fuck yourself, Chairman Ham. So, useful.
I was actually surprised it got to 4 points. I thought point 3 was going to be kill yourself.
Yeah.
So
No, he's being helpful.
Yeah.
I do think it would be fun to do a show at a theater.
You know what came to my mind
Like
first?
exactly like this. Not having some fucking YouTube advisor buttering, not banning me from using my real name and making me use some cockamamie ridiculous fake name on the broadcast. What were you gonna say?
The first thing that came to mind was the live-action Trailer Park Boys show we went to. Where did we see that? The El Rey?
Oh yeah, that was when I started the fight with those guys who wouldn't sit down. No, this is. You want to hear this story?
Wait, did you get kicked out of that?
No. It's Trailer Park Boys show. What I was doing was appreciated. So Coach and
What the
I
hell did you get kicked out of?
at the El Rey.
Yeah. Well, was it the El Rey?
Sean, probably.
Who the fuck knows, right?
So we, Coach and I were at this Trailer Park Boys show, and we had also got a couple other friends of mine were going. This guy and his brother, who were both very big guys. Both very big guys, both very rowdy guys. I think they were from back east. They were from Boston or something. They were like the kind of guys that seem like a different species of human. Like they wouldn't you agree with that? Like they were like I don't know how tall they were. They were like as tall as my dad. That's how tall they were. I'm like, I just look at you and I'm like, I don't know. How old are you like an elf? Are you like Elrond the elf? But you're also beefy.
Right.
Like what fuck you. What did you win some kind of genetic lottery where you're 6'5" and your shoulders are shaped like a fucking action figure? These two motherfuckers. Like whatever. All right, we're going to Trailer Park Boys. We all love Trailer Park Boys. So we go into the show and everyone is high and drunk as fuck at the Trailer Park Boys. So these guys in front of us, they wouldn't sit down. They wouldn't sit down the whole show. And it was like this isn't a rock concert.
Yeah.
It's a comedy show.
Yeah.
Like it's a comedy show where the bulk of the show is Ricky, a character in the Trailer Park Boys, doing a PowerPoint of pictures of where he's drawn dicks on everyone's face. And then
in between that, you would go behind a curtain and smoke weed.
Yeah, and smoke weed. He really would do that.
I'm sure
So
he did.
these guys, so we're high.
Did Julian have the...
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He had his Tom Collins of whiskey diet.
Drinks Tom Collins?
Isn't that the name of the glass? What's the name of that glass?
Well, Tom Collins is a drink.
It is a
but
drink.
Also, you put it in a Collins glass.
It's
I
a
believe.
Collins glass. So I think that's what he has. I don't know. It's a cup. It's a glass. It's like one of those little 3-inch glasses. He had that the whole time. So we're high and drunk and tired.
And want to sit down.
And we want to sit the fuck down. And the theater is not that crowded.
Right.
Because it's Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
And we know about it. We paid like $100 for these tickets or something like that. We just want to fucking sit down. But these jackasses in front of us won't sit down. We ask them nicely. Like we do the whole thing where we go, dude, can you just sit down? They're like, they're drunk and high, and they're feeling like they're embiggened by the rebellious spirit of the Trailer Park Boys.
How's it like? What's it like dealing with you?
Oh, I'll tell you what it's like dealing with me.
Yeah.
After they failed to talk them into sitting down, I just leaned forward and grabbed the hoodie on his sweatshirt and yanked him down.
No shit.
Yeah, I said, sit the fuck down. So they jump up and they're like, "You want to go? You want to go?" And these two Ubermensch that we came with, besides me and Life Coach, they stand up like instantly, looking like Colossus and Cyclops, like ready to fucking pound these guys. They look like Mark Wahlberg must have looked before he beat that Asian guy to death. Like they stand up and they're ready to throw these guys through the ceiling into outer space. Yeah. And the girl that they're with sees, because the girls always know who's going to lose a fight. The girl's like, okay, just sit down, guys, just sit down. And I'm just sitting there. So Coach turns to me. I'm sitting there thinking like I did nothing wrong because we fucking asked. We asked them. Like they did the first thing to us. I didn't do that to them first.
There's nothing wrong with asking someone to sit down, and it's kind of ridiculous to stand for a whole comedy show.
A whole fucking comedy show,
that,
man, where everybody's smoking weed. Just sit the fuck down.
Yeah, just fucking listen and laugh, would you?
Everybody just relax. Don't fuck with me. So after the show, my life coach comes over, and what did you say? You said something like, I can't believe you did that. Aren't you ever worried that one of these things that you do will have you get encouraged too much by doing these things? And right when he said that, right after he said that, both of those gigantic men walked over, and the one goes, "Man, that was awesome when you did that. I was ready to fucking roll." And I was like, it was, because I was doing the right thing. That's why I was doing the right. Anyway, let's get this Sovash guy on the line so he can talk to us about Dustin.
I completely forgot about that. Yanking that guy down.
Me too.
No shit.
It's a good fucking feeling.
Yeah.
It was like a reverse Excalibur. Like I grabbed him and yanked him back into the stone. Like Excalibur is a shit sword, and I just plugged it right back in and said, "Fuck you."
Yep.
Sovash, are you there?
I'm right here. How's it going?
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
Good. Everyone's doing good. Everyone's doing fine. So you have one of my favorite recurring bits on Reddit just because it's so shitty.
Wow, thanks. That's the intention.
Thanks, I think.
Yeah, it's this summary of the great questions Dustin brings in, and then you say whether or not it's worth listening to. I mean, I love it because you basically grade my answers as well.
I try to, yeah.
Okay. So, but I did see this recurring sentiment of me hand-waving your concerns away. So I figured, hey, everything's a contest on this show. It's a hate machine, the entire show, clearly. It's a bomb. It's like the bomb in Adventure Time that just unleashed all this hell over the world. I wanted to give you the chance to air your grievances, and I assume you're some kind of surrogate for everyone that's unhappy on Reddit.
Okay, well, I'm not representing Reddit at all. You came to me because I do that bit.
Okay.
Way to play along.
Good start. But what are your grievances with Dustin? I really do want to know.
Okay, so personally, I don't think Dustin's a bad guy whatsoever. The main deal is he's not a performer. He starts talking and the show just comes to a screeching halt. That's the basic issue.
Do you really think it comes to a screeching halt? Because I get a lot of positive feedback about Dustin.
Not from Reddit.
Well, okay, maybe not from Reddit, but email. You know, it's like the Parents Television Council. Like everybody who's talking isn't representative of everyone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you. Like maybe that's just what my personal opinion on it. Like, okay. I'm sure he's a great guy. The questions he brings are fine, but he's not a professional performer. He's clearly not a professional talker. Neither am I, for that matter. I'm totally going to.
So, what would you propose? Like, in your ideal scenario, what would you like as a listener?
And as an official representative of Reddit.
And as an official representative of Reddit.
That's not my business. Okay, so I have a couple of ideas. Do you want guys go through a couple ideas?
Yes, let me get your ideas.
Okay, Dustin can still gather the questions, then forward them to Sean, to the co-host, maybe?
Okay. But I'm not going to pay Sean more. That sounds like more work for Sean.
Okay, how about this? Dustin comes in once a month with a better pool of questions. Like, he might be scraping the bottom of the barrel sometimes. Like,
you think so?
Maybe.
Do you think?
Don't know.
Have you noticed that?
Well, the horse-sized Maddox, the duck-sized Maddox question a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, I noticed that. I thought that was a little goofy of a question too.
He's learning on the job.
He's learning on the job.
Yeah. Like, how good would I be doing that? I don't know. So,
I don't know. Do you have any questions for us?
Okay, here's a question.
Okay.
When you program the questions into Microsoft SAM, it would have a better delivery. It would sound more human that way, at least.
Oh, so that's a slam. That's not a question.
Uh-oh.
What about Siri?
Siri would work too. Like,
Siri
I'm an
would work
Android
too?
guy. I don't know very much about Siri, but sure, yeah, that's a sexier voice.
Well, on Androids, do you have a feature that absolutely no one uses?
Probably. I don't know.
Okay.
I have an Android. I don't use half of the features.
That's Siri.
I call my girlfriend for a ride home after work. That's about it.
What's your girlfriend look like?
She's pretty hot.
Oh, how hot? How hot are we talking?
Probably, I don't know, 7 out of 10.
Oh, all right. What's propping her above a 6 and keeping her below an 8?
You know what? She's gonna be listening to this, so I don't know.
That's why I'm asking.
Too late.
Yeah, what kind of body are we talking about?
Dude, you already did the worst thing possible. You put a number on it. You think you're gonna get worse?
Let me give you a dick tip here. Now is the time to talk about her like she's a 10, and then later say, I don't know numbers. I'm not a numbers
This is where
guy.
you can save yourself, basically.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm not really a numbers guy. I know she's great. She's the best in my life. That's all I can really say about that.
Oh my God. Good. What a pussy. I'm just busting your balls. All right, what else? What other things you get to do?
Okay, so there was talk about having a hot babe come in and read the news. You know, maybe my girlfriend, maybe not. I don't know. Any way she could come in and read the news and read the questions?
So I'll tell you this. I have been looking for a hot babe, and I have some traction on that.
Dude, you're in LA. There's hot babes everywhere. Like, what's the holdup? Reddit's going crazy about that.
Well, they don't leave their beds. That hot babes in LA are like Jabba the Hutt. They sit in bed and they watch Netflix and they text like that little gremlin guy that sits next to Jabba the Hutt. They text a man exactly like him, and he brings them food and drama. Like he will drop anything to come over. And I actually put up. So first of all, there is a babe coming in to read the news by the name of Jackie Bray. She said she would come in, but she lives very far away. So I don't know. I want to see what you guys think. I don't want to make the same mistake with bringing in a girl that you hate, right?
Jackie's a hot name.
Right?
Yeah.
Hot name.
I think so.
Except I've dated a Jackie and I hate her, so there might be too much venom whenever I talk. Okay. I put up an ad on Craigslist as well, but I don't think it was a very good ad because I haven't had any responses for it yet.
I need a hot woman for something that totally isn't sexual.
Yeah, but in caps.
In caps, okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah. So it's common, man. It's common. I'm very slow.
What's very slow?
I'm very slow at getting things done.
Oh.
Yeah. So, Vosh, does that answer your question?
I suppose so, yeah. I guess.
You guess?
What about a rotating chair idea then for whoever else would want to do it? Like maybe Asterios Cocoa Puffs might want to come in and do some stuff.
Well, here's the thing. It's twofold, really. It's about reliability, number one. Somebody who can be there, somebody who is there, that is number one. Somebody who is there reliably to bring in content that I love talking about, and I think people like listening to, like the story with Sean and some of the they may not all be winners to you or to anybody, but I do think he brings in good content. Number two, I think the point that's really getting lost in all this is I have a measure of respect for a man who does this, for Dustin, who goes and gathers the questions on his own volition and puts himself in a position every week reliably where he can call in and deliver them. And I do feel I have this internal morality where I feel like it would be kind of dicking him over to take the questions and say, let Sean read them. Like Sean gets enough attention. He's the most beautiful man on the internet, apparently, some woman was saying. They want to date with you. Somebody called in and said you're man meat. It's disgusting. But I think that taking the questions, I personally feel like taking his work and giving it to someone else to enjoy is a level of cuckoldry. Is a cuck, and I don't want to participate in cuckery. I don't want to be called a cuck. I don't want to be in the same league or even in the same neighborhood of cuck.
If he selects good questions, who cares who reads them? Why can't he just read them?
Well, Shelvash, you still there? That's a good question from Sean. What do you think about that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Dustin's not a performer. Like Sean is a natural performer. You know, he's cuter than Mark Maron's audio engineer. That's a scientific fact right there, right?
Is that true? We should have a sound engineer beauty pageant.
All I know is...
Oh, that's a good idea. That is a good idea.
Sovash, all I know is that it took probably 40 to 50 episodes of the last show before I was comfortable at all on the air.
Yeah.
I would imagine all the people who would listen to this and hope I wouldn't say anything too stupid. And now it's really
and then
easy
you delete
to talk.
it. You edit it out.
I did that once.
You have done it. I'm not saying it's. I'm not saying it's anything wrong with that. Like you're here to, I appreciate everything you do for the show. I don't care if you take a couple of vanity edits.
Yeah.
Clip out who's your father. Clip out a couple little quips. Like maybe you fucked up on a little. Larry sure had a list of edits, didn't he, for us? You ever see? Larry was like Metallica rolling off the stage and saying, "Here's my fucking writer of edits that I want made of the show." I was like, all right, Larry. All right, man. We'll do it.
I guess he's figuring you have to live in the real world too.
Yes, you do.
And it's all about relationships.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, nobody has any sense of humor anymore.
No, they don't. No. Look, Sovash, do you want to call back again with something? Do you want to put something together and call back again? I want to talk to you about it, but I also want to keep the show moving.
Sure, absolutely. I'll see what I can do. We'll talk later.
I'm glad you called in.
Thank you for having me.
All right, you have a good one.
You too. Take care, guys.
See ya.
See ya.
All right, now I got bad news for Dustin because we're going to him next. Got bad news for Sovash. Excuse me.
Either one.
Hey, Dustin, are you there?
Hey, what's going on, Dick? Can you hear me?
Yeah. How you doing? Did you hear any of that?
I heard a little bit. Heard most of it.
Right.
I had to stop it at the very end so that I could swap over to the Skype machine.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think about this Sovash guy claiming he's the rep of all of Reddit?
I'll tell you what. I don't know. He seemed a little nervous for calling in.
Don't start.
Dustin,
I
can
can't
understand.
Look, you learned nothing.
First off, no. I just want to say I understand. I understand what it's like.
Okay.
When you jump on a podcast for the first time and you're really putting yourself out there, right?
Yeah.
You're literally walking through the Morlocks, getting ready to get stabbed to death in a figurative gutter. That's basically what this is. And I'm actually glad that he came on board to talk. You've been trying to get somebody from Reddit to come on board and talk since the show began, and no one would do it. So Sovash coming forth, mad props to you for coming on and doing that. I read your write-up every single week. I think it's fucking hilarious.
It is great.
It's fantastic. I think it adds a lot to the show. I really, really do. And I'm also glad that the Reddit community is, they support you enough that, when you asked them for help because you had no idea what the hell to say, they were able to provide you with enough content that you could kind of carry yourself. I also did notice that William Clinton was on there giving you a little bit of advice. Also, William, I'm sorry that Asterios banned you from the Facebook, but I accepted you, so you're back. You can come back whenever you want now.
There is so much bullshit that goes on in online forums. It's unfucking believable that these grown men are doing this. It is unfucking believable. All right, cool. Now I know what it feels like to be in a glory hole.
There you go.
Is that right? With men getting jerked off on all sides of me. Dustin, what have you got today? What kind of questions you got for us today?
One last thing before I start the questions.
Okay.
If somebody could let me know what does it mean to be cringy? Because I have no fucking idea. They keep saying that I'm cringy. What does that mean? I don't understand it.
I don't have a definition on the tip of my tongue, but you are not it.
No, I take it to mean you're kind of embarrassed for them and the whole situation, where you're like, oh, God, don't say that. Stop.
Yes.
Remember that scene? I don't know you guys have seen Swingers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau. That scene where he calls the girl he just met over and over and over again and then apologizes. That's cringeworthy.
Yeah.
And what does it mean when there's spaghetti coming out of your pockets?
Well, that usually implies that you fucked up with a woman. Like if you come up to a woman and you start just unloading, it's from a story that someone told on 4chan. Where
Never heard that.
Yeah, I think that for some reason they had leftover spaghetti in their pocket and they were trying to hit on a woman and they reached into their pocket and like accidentally smushed a bunch of actual spaghetti out of their pocket. It was
This
goofy.
begs so many more questions.
That's why it's a meme. Like that's why it's become a meme. But it usually means you fucked up with a girl by embarrassing yourself. So who's ever using it is using it incorrectly. Call them police.
I have no idea what the hell that even fucking meant. I read it. I was like, spaghetti? I don't even like spaghetti. What
It's
the hell?
synonymous with being cringy.
Okay, so questions this week from Dickheads on Facebook. Admiral Stiffplank writes in. Which, fantastic fucking name, sir.
Admiral.
Admiral Stifflank.
Because you wouldn't respect him if he was less.
Commander Stiff.
Commander,
Yeah, respect that guy.
Now, it's kind of serious as well. How would I dump a bipolar girl, legit confirmed by a medical professional that I live with? P.S. Go fuck yourself.
Force feed her medication and then leave the state.
Oh.
That's actually...
Yeah, can you can't get them on meds, can you?
What, bipolar? Sure.
We'll force them, though.
Oh, you can't force anybody to take their
Yeah,
meds. That's why there's, schizophrenics that, they're homeless and they might commit a violent act or something. They're almost always unmedicated.
Man, you've got to... This is really the only advice I can give when you're breaking up with women or men or on either side, and because it works both ways, where men in relationships and they worry about women harming themselves. They're concerned, perhaps rightly or wrongly, with women hurting themselves or what kind of emotional condition they'll be in after the breakup. And on the other side, women are worried about men stalking them, which happens. Like that, they're usually more concerned about their personal safety because they're women. Let's be honest. They got something to worry about.
This is true.
You really have to be as direct and detached and unemotional as possible. You got to psych yourself up beforehand. You've got to excise any feeling you have about controlling and being responsible for their emotional state, because it's on them.
Absolutely correct.
And the only thing they know is how to intertwine their negative emotions with your emotions, because they're all the same to them. So they'll try to play you out. They'll try to pull it out of you like they're trolling. They'll throw out these questions like these hypotheticals, like, don't you think this and don't you think that and what if this and this is making me feel like I can't control myself. They'll try to bait your feelings and your emotions out, and you just gotta be the Rock of Gibraltar. I think that's legendarily, that's steady and straight. You've got to be 100% clear, like ripping off a Band-Aid. You've got to be clear about, this isn't working for me.
Right.
I'm done.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
That's a breakup.
Yep.
There's no aftercare. You can't make it any worse. Like, get rid of this idea that you have control over whether or not it's worse post-breakup, because you don't. It's gone, and whatever they choose to do with it, like, quite frankly, giving them any kind of hope afterwards, like trying to lessen the blow, is just you making them it's just making them rely more on you and your emotional support. So you just got to get in there clean. Like the wind. You got to get in there. You got to stab them in the heart like a vampire. Then you get in there, knock their coffin lid over, stab them in the heart, and then you're gone. That's it.
It sounds slightly illegal.
What?
Oh, that was
the
a
vampire
metaphor.
part? Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. All right,
Unless she is a vampire, in which case you owe it to all of us.
Right. That should go without saying.
There's millions of people out there just like her. They all need help. Randomly, you happen to be around this one. So, detach.
Jeff Chatham. How do you deal with the fuck up for a boss? Mine is clueless in the extreme, and I teach him stuff which he immediately doesn't understand, but has lots of input on how to look important. How do I protect this guy's ego and keep my job at the same time?
Oh boy, there's a lot of threads to unravel on that one.
Why is it so important to... I mean, you don't have to...
Why is it so important to placate your boss?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to act like a dick, but you could just agree with everything he says. Why constantly try to correct him?
Yeah,
Is he asking for any input?
So...
Doesn't seem like it.
This is one way to think about it. The Peter Principle is something that I believe in. I'll probably talk about it in another episode. But
I don't know what that is.
The basic idea is everybody is promoted to a point of their incompetence.
Oh, yeah.
If you're good at work, you get promoted until you're no longer good. So by definition, everybody in a managerial role or in a working at a high level or even a mid-level manager in a company, wherever you're working, is going to be incompetent.
Yeah.
Because that's where they stopped performing.
Right.
So that's where they stopped getting promoted.
Yeah. They would have been competent at every step below that.
Yeah. And they probably were. So they know how to do your job. So you're an idiot, but they can't do their job. And maybe you can. And that's the thing to keep in mind. if you can, you should be gunning for that job.
Yeah.
Like for every second you spend worrying about what your boss is doing wrong is a second you could be spending trying to get that fucking job either at that company or anywhere else. There's no more gold watches anymore. There's no reward for loyalty. There's no reward for knowing the right answer when it's not part of your job description.
100%.
If you know it, get paid for it.
You're not supposed to even posit the right answer if you're at a certain level.
No.
They keep everybody so compartmentalized now. It's like, can't go off script. Can't go off script. Can't think for myself.
All right, buddy, you got one more for us? Let's end it before. We got a couple good questions in there. We're gonna wrap it up. We've been going too long.
Sounds good.
Right? All right. Hey, thanks, Dustin.
Hey, thanks as always.
Check out facebook.com/group/The Dick Show, right? I heard it's bedlam in there, though.
Listen, this week's been crazy, but I assure you, very soon, things will be back to normal.
Okay. That sounds ominous.
And by normal, portentous. I mean pure fucking insanity.
That sounds like something I don't believe. All right, no, seriously, thank you.
You got
Have a good one. All right, Coach, you got any things that make you rage? We want to get to that next time, maybe. Come on again and give us something that gives you rage so I can get you on the board.
Sure.
What do you think about that? You'll be on the bonus episodes, of course. We're gonna fix something big. You, me, and Denzel are gonna fix something big. I've got to get my man on. I'm going to try to get my man on next week because he and I are going to be at Burning Man together, and I've totally fucked him over. But I learned that he won the Celebrity Shame Pool.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we can talk about that next week if I can get him on. I'll try to get Lotex on the line. For fuck's sake, this has been The Dick Show. I'm Dick Masterson. Check out patreon.com/The Dick Show. If you want to donate, if you want to be part of the Rage Lottery, go to dick.show. If you want to read the write-up and see the fan art and participate in the hate machine that is the comment section of this podcast, go fuck yourself. See you next Tuesday.
Presenting Dick.
Dick, I was listening to some of the older episodes of that other show that you were on.
Yeah.
And you were talking about your dad. And he made me think, wow, that guy can fucking rage. I guarantee it. You should bring him on the show. I think we'll all like it. Maybe you won't, but I bet everyone else will.
Yeah, well, he would like it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He said yesterday, he goes, hey, I got a topic for your show. I'll tell you what's making me rage.
Yeah.
Okay, what, Dad? What do you got? He says, NBC, I don't know where to watch boxing. I think they censored it. I'm like, what do you mean censored? He goes,
Olympic boxing?
Yeah, Olympic boxing. He says, I think they censored it because they don't want to promote violence.
Wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me
You know what? I
either.
actually saw Olympic boxing yesterday.
When was it?
Oh, like mid-afternoon?
Well, that's when he watches TV, so I don't know what but I said, what else you got? Have you seen this? And he goes, no, that's it. I think that's what they're doing. I'm like, all right, Dad, that's a pretty quick soundbite.
Well, he's really gregarious.
He is. He does not have the same venom as I do about a lot of things. He's been having this problem. My parents have been having this problem with the dog barking behind their house. Like next to their neighbors are just letting the dog bark out of control. And we were all hanging out at their place. My brother-in-law and I turned to each other. We're all sitting there together, and we're concocting these plans to murder this dog.
Yeah.
We're like, we got to kill this fucking thing. It's just nonstop. This like husky or Akita
Bad owners.
is howling and barking and howling. We're like, well, I don't know how do we kill this dog? I need maybe a BB gun, but then they'll find BBs, like a loaf of bread with some antifreeze on it, but then it'll eat half the bread, and maybe they'll know, like it'll start throwing up antifreeze all over that.
Yeah.
Like maybe a slingshot with an ice cube, like just to make it afraid of coming up to the fence.
Could be.
So my father goes, just a minute, I'll go over there. So he goes over there, he walks over to the neighbor's house and has he's got this switch where he can just turn everything into this real nice, like, what's going on? Who are you? Let's work together to solve this problem in a way that takes a much bigger effort for me to flick that switch than it does him. But I'm sure he'd love to be on the show. I'll do my best. Maybe next Father's Day.
somebody just reminded me we were going to open my present.
Oh my God! Let's do that. Let's open your present. Go ahead.
I'm glad. Okay, what is this, a card or is this?
No, it's a bomb. They put them in envelopes and it's like a Unabomber.
Who's this from? Oh, Derek Gooley. Thanks, man. Don't know if I say thanks until I see what the fuck.
Well, it's still a present either way. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah. I heard Sean needs a new clock. I hope this helps.
It is in the shape of a clock.
Don't be such a spoiler.
Who, me?
Coach. Over there predicting presents.
Same
the
thing.
Noid of Christmas.
Sorry, it looks more like a wine bottle.
Could be anything. It looks like a wine bottle.
Hey! You know what? This is great because I could actually use this.
What is it? What is it?
It's a clock.
Oh, it's a regular clock.
It's a regular clock.
Does that help? Is that going to help you?
Yeah.
I was hoping
Fix
like
the
the
fucking
second
audio.
hand
Thanks, man.
would be like a flying penis.
Derek
that
Gooley, appreciate
kept
it.
going around
Yeah.
with the face.
Yeah. All right, here's another one.
No, I know exactly where it's going to go, too.
Up your ass?
No. What is wrong with it? Why is that your answer for everything?
Hey, Dick. Joining the Army. I've been training on my own. But today I got trained with some other dudes joining up. And I realized I'm running pretty fast, but I'm not in first place. I started thinking what you always say, everything's a fucking contest, right? Everything is a contest.
Yeah.
So I'm pushing myself harder. End up beating this guy in our little 4-mile run.
Yeah.
It's all fucking good, man. It's all
Yes.
thanks to
Good.
your motivational words.
Dick that
you
show.
help people be better versions of themselves.
Hell yeah.
Everything's a contest. Talk to you later.
Yeah,
That's
U.S.
That's awesome.
U.S. Army. Dick that show. Check it out. Making the whole soldier of one, making your soldier of one better. A better, more efficient, stronger, tougher killing machine. Yeah, take that oil. All right.
Got another?
Yeah, I got a bunch.
Hey, I pay $5 a month to Patreon, and I think I'm allowed and entitled to make
guy's got a weird
executive
voice.
producer decisions.
He's making fun of something.
Dustin has autism, and Dustin shouldn't be allowed on the show anymore. Also, ban that Asterius Cuckanos guy from the Facebook group, because he's a cuck. Thank you. I'll appreciate it.
He called back again. He had more to say.
Really?
Yeah.
And another thing is, we need an actual comedian to read questions. Dustin isn't funny at all. All he does is come in and ask a question, and he doesn't even say cuck once. We need a master comedian to come into the podcast and do his greatest Dick Masterson impression, because I pay $5 a month, and I could go buy a Big Mac with that money, but I choose to be an executive producer on the Dick Show podcast, so all of my needs and all of my demands should be met. Otherwise, I'm pulling my $5, okay? 5 whole fucking stupid dollars.
Oh, I appreciate every dollar. Well, if you want to make up for that guy's donation with the funny voice, go to patreon.com/thedickshow.
Hey, I'm calling about the Dustin Opinion subreddit. I was wondering if we could get some moderation going on over there. I noticed somebody was talking about a dick show. I'm not sure if we should be talking about porn on this Dustin Opinion subreddit. Could you get someone to clean this stuff up? It's getting a little dirty in there. Thanks.
A little too highbrow. A little more Mark Maron than Dick Show.
That fucking story almost made me fucking throw up.
It should have.
Erotic story. You like that one? All right. Oh, wait, this one might be good.
Dick, did Sean delete your fucking brain? You're talking about fucking Syria, and then all of a sudden, oh, let's bomb Mecca. Do you know what propagates the kind of shit that leads them to recruit
Islam?
a country where maybe they were born, maybe they grew up here, maybe they fucking served in our military, maybe they have, you know, a religious sacred homeland that has nothing to do with the terrorists who are proclaiming to be Muslims.
Dude, I mean, that was a joke.
You're an idiot.
The Mecca one?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Said we'll trade
And you too,
Utah.
Sean.
What do you say?
I think he said you're great, or you're handsome, or something about how beautiful you are, or some shit.
You were basically saying we'll trade Utah for Mecca.
But don't all the Syrian refugees probably love Mecca? Isn't that a Muslim thing? Mecca?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that would mean something to them. That would be stakes to them, right? Like if we bet the White House against Mecca in some kind of a robot jocks game.
Oh, that would be stakes.
That would be stakes. That's all I'm saying.
We don't care about Utah.
Yeah, if we cared about, like, if we put up the White House, if we put up the Playboy Mansion, what would we have to put up to equal? What's the Mecca of the U.S.? Disneyland. If we put up Disneyland versus Mecca, that's it. We get it. Whoever loses has got to give it to the other one. They'll put Minnie in a hijab. If we win, we got to lift that whole thing out of the ground and drop it into Syria. That's all I'm saying. Let's put some stakes on the Olympics.
I'm reminded of Gosling in Fracture, where he says, "This is kind of winning. Being America is winning." I'm not sure what's this contest. How do we declare winners and losers in
the Olympics? It was to put some stakes on the Olympics.
Okay.
Like whoever is, more runs faster.
Yeah, I got you.
The gold doesn't mean anything to me.
Mhm.
I need some stakes.
Yeah. Okay.
I need some money on it.
I'm with you.
That's all I'm saying. All right.
Done?
I'm done.
All right.
I got it all out of my system.
Good for you.